Hello, welcome back to Earth. I guess we're kind of still on the internet here. Today, the place we're going to be exploring is actually the Indian Ocean. Now, at first glance, like any ocean, it just looks like a big wall of blue. Not much going on here. But if you look closer, there's quite a few strange islands all over the Indian Ocean. So we're just going to take a look at all of the weird things hidden around here. Starting with right over here near the British Indian Ocean Territory, we've got a place called Danger Island. Now, other than having a really cool name, Danger Island surprisingly has a street view all the way around the border and some on the inside. Now, I don't know who went through the trouble of actually making it to this island and taking all these pictures, but it's really interesting just walking around here because, I mean, there's always like the stereotypical questions like, oh, what would you do if you got stranded on a deserted island or something like that? Well, if you want to know what that looks like, here it is. Here we have Danger Island, and it's even got a piece of shipwreck just sitting there on the beach. Now, let's take a look at what it actually looks like on the inside of the island, too. There's really nothing stopping the growth here, so it's just super dense forests and jungle. And yeah, you can just kind of walk through it and explore it. I feel like if you did get stuck on an island like this, you probably wouldn't last very long. I mean, where would you find any food here? I mean, people always say like, oh yeah, there's probably some bananas or some coconuts or something just growing around here. I'm sure I could just live off of the land. Yeah, good luck with that here on Danger Island. I wanted to know why it was called Danger Island, and so we've got the Wikipedia page here. Danger Island, Great Chagos Bank, covered with tall coconut trees. Its name in all likelihood derives from the lack of a safe anchorage, which rendered every visit to the island dangerous for the ship and crew. So I guess there you have it. It's not very easy to get to because even if you're taking a boat out to there, the water gets really shallow, and so it's kind of difficult to actually get your boat over there. There was never a permanent settlement on Danger Island, even at the time that Chagos were inhabited. However, occasionally plantation workers from the other islands would be brought to this island to collect coconuts. Following strict nature reserves regulations issued on the 18th of September 1998, Danger Island, including its territorial waters and the reef surrounding, became a strict nature reserve. So there you have it. Danger Island is now, it's a protected island. Right next door to Danger Island, we've got an island with an even better name, Sea Cow Island. This one has also been walked around the coast. I can't say that there's a lot of unique scenery. I mean, a lot of this looks like it's something straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean, so if you've ever just wanted to explore a desert island, this is your chance. Go find Danger Island or Sea Cow Island. There's also Eagle Island, which is the biggest, but doesn't actually have street view for it. So let's just see what the actual size of these islands is. Okay, so Danger Island is about 1.25 miles across. So that means if you were to go all the way around it, it'd probably be about 2.5 miles. Eagle Island, on the other hand, is about 3 miles across. But they're very hard to find if you don't know what to look for. So something kind of weird I've noticed with Google Maps is like, it seems like it only wants to render or show high quality images of selected parts. So like you can see there's a high quality visual for the island and the water around it. But then there's just like this wall of blur. Like they only wanted to render this piece of it. I mean, I can kind of understand they probably don't want to render all of this detail when there's nothing out there. But I have to wonder if there's anything being hidden or just going unnoticed that's just hidden out here in the non-detailed waters. So up here, we've also got the Maldives. If you've never heard of the Maldives, it's basically the tropical paradise vacation that everyone dreams of. And so basically there's a whole bunch of little islands and lots of beaches, lots of really blue waters. Most impressively, they tend to have a very iconic, I don't know what you would call it, like water houses. Let's see if I can find some. All right, yeah, here we go. So they build these docks that just go over the water. And I mean, this is super shallow water. You can just walk through it. And there's so many places, like just hotels and resorts around the Maldives, where you just have a house just hanging over the water with steps just going down into the water. I gotta admit, I've looked at a lot of tropical islands around on the maps, and these are probably some of the best looking ones I've ever seen. Between this and Fiji, probably the nicest looking islands I've seen. So you can definitely tell that the Maldives are like a really hot tourist spot. I would imagine it would cost a lot to travel here. I'll probably save that for like a honeymoon or something. But yeah, there's just so many little islands here. It's crazy just how much they all connect. And like some of them are actually pretty inhabited. I mean, you've got like full-on restaurants and hotels on these tiny little things. And there's so many. I don't even know like how you would decide which one of these you would be going to. Because yeah, like here we have another one. I mean, there's a lot of different designs of these, but for the most part, it's a really common thing around the Maldives to have these like these little houses on boardwalks. So that's the Maldives, just slightly off of India. So let's just take a look around here. So I'm not exactly sure how this kind of thing is formed. You'll see a lot where there's like, it looks like there's just a ring of islands, but it's all filled with water. It's almost like a partial pathway just of land that goes around in a circle. Like I said, I have no idea how this kind of thing is formed. I'd love it if any of you could enlighten me. It definitely looks like this one is all French. You got a lot of French names. It does seem like most of the Indian Ocean is owned by all sorts of European and Indian countries. And then over here you've got Christmas Island, which, you know, I gotta say, Christmas Island, it kind of looks like it's shaped like a dog. You got the legs, the tail, and the head. Let's see what goes on Christmas Island. Oh yeah, this is the place with like tons of crabs. Yeah, there's like, they just have like tons of crabs and wildlife. This also seems like one of those just rich people resort kind of places. I have no idea how a train ended up in the middle of the woods here. But yeah, whenever you hear about people that are just like the super rich people that are just like, yeah, I've got a place on like a private island or something like that, I would expect that Christmas Island is probably one of those kind of places. I mean, you just have to wonder how insane it would be to logistically get a house over there. Oh yeah, this is also the place with the crab bridge, because they were tired of having these millions of crabs running across the road, so they climb up on top of this and just walk across, going across the crab bridge. But that's enough of Christmas Island. Let's see what else we've got over here. Alright, so here's something really strange. We got a place called Egmont Islands. There appears to be some businesses listed on this island. I don't see any buildings or anything, but right here we've got Arif Nargish Future Palace. It's got a 4-star rating. It's open 24 hours. The view is as good as it gets. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the food. Good food, good life, but all fake. Great family restaurant, even open on Sundays. Yeah, I don't think this is a real place. Same with Helena Harach Future Palace, or the other Arif Nargish Future Palace. Translated by Google. Turtle soup is not bad, but don't take the stew from the brain of the seagull. Better go through the 2 palm trees around the bend. There is a good shawarma. Translated by Google. I would like to be there someday. And then, oh, we got another restaurant out in the water. Indiana Island, India. And it's just a picture of some yarn. Apparently is a 4-star restaurant in the water. It was a good meal, but I had hair on the leg I ate. I have no idea where they found the leg. The food is good, but only salt is served. Alright, so this is a bit of a silly place. I don't think I want to go to Egmont Islands. Let's see what else we've got over here. So another thing that I've found really interesting is these two over here, Reunion Island and Martius Island. They look like tiny little things with nothing on them, you know, just like Danger Island or whatever. But when you actually get up close, there's actually a lot of people living here. I mean, these are not small towns. These are like huge cities. And this goes around the entire island. I don't know what the population is here. I mean, they clearly have like a fully functioning society here. Let's see what the data is on this thing. A French department in the Indian Ocean. It's known for its volcanic, rainforest interior, coral reefs, and beaches. So, I mean, it's pretty clear that this is all volcanic. So, this view looks crazy. So, you've got these mountains, well, probably old volcanoes, and there's like 3 volcano craters here. And they just decide to build a town in the middle of it. So, you've got these towns that are just in the middle of a volcano. I mean, they've got grocery stores and schools, and I mean, here's a running track. I want to see what the views are like from places like this. Man, so this is actually a lot bigger than I was expecting. Let's see, from this end to this end. Okay, I guess it's only 6 miles wide. They managed to fit quite a lot in this little valley. So yeah, there's actually cities all around the island, as well as a few, like, right in the middle. Yeah, right here we got Hellborg. I just want to see what, like, some of these pictures look like. I mean, it's crazy to think that you could just live right here, just on this little island. It looks so small on a grand scale, but when you're there, I mean, it doesn't seem so small, like, up close. Man, that looks crazy. Alright, well there's Reunion Island. Let's see what's over at whatever this place is called. This one doesn't seem to have quite as many volcanoes, but I mean still, like, there's a ton of people here. These cities are huge for what this is. I mean, they've even got enough farmland, it looks like they can grow their own food. I mean, usually for small islands, they have to import pretty much everything. And I'm sure that these guys import a ton of stuff too. But, I mean, the more self-sufficient that they can be, the better. I just wonder how difficult it actually is to get here. Like, I wonder if they have a lot of cruise ships that go over to this area. You'd have to take a cruise a long way, because the nearest thing is Madagascar. Not a whole lot of that is very established. So let's see what else we got over here. I mean, there's just like these massive cities just out in these little islands out in the ocean. It's crazy just how much they can accomplish out there. Oh yeah, here's more of a 3D view. Yeah, this one you can tell is another volcano. What's crazy is that a lot of these probably didn't exist before the volcano, and they just kind of sprung out of the ocean. And then people took their boats out there and said, let's build here. This looks good. What do we have over here? Dennis Private Island. Alright, Dennis. Wow, he charges $875 per night at the least, just to come stay over here. Hey, I mean, if you want to buy a private island, I guess building a hotel or renting it out is going to make a lot of money if you can actually get people over there. I mean, look at this landing strip. It looks like it's not even paved. Like, do they just land planes on the grass right here on the dirt? Over here, it's just called Bird Island Lodge. Man, see, they've got like these tiny little hidden islands are just full of fancy hotels. Man, maybe, you know, a lot of people when they think, when I get rich, I'm going to buy a fancy car, a fancy house, and a bunch of expensive clothes. Like, the people who are actually rich, you know, the actual billionaires, probably have a long list of things that we can't even imagine that they just spend money on. I mean, they've got these private islands that nobody's ever heard of. They could just go travel to places we wouldn't even imagine. Oh, here's another one. Des Roches Island. Again, it looks like there's quite a bit of... yeah, you can definitely tell this is vacation houses. Whether it's like hotel style or like timeshares or stuff people own. Over here we've got Silhouette Island. You know what's funny? Have you guys ever heard of the show Flapjack? It's just it was a cartoon on Cartoon Network around like the late 2000s or something. They live on this harbor out in the ocean. They're always going to these oddly specific named islands. Like, they're always trying to get to Candied Island, but then there's also like Poison Island and Pickle Island and Mechanical Genie Island, and just like, you know, just a bunch of random islands for whatever the topic of the episode is. And that's kind of how I feel when I look at a lot of these ones where we've got like Bird Island or Danger Island or Eagle Island, Silhouette Island. It does seem like there are still a lot of small places that aren't really inhabited at all. I mean, some places are probably just more difficult than they'd be worth. I'd imagine the ones with a lot of people are probably much flatter or much easier to dock at and get a boat there. Whereas ones like this, I mean, this is probably still an active volcano. I don't know that you'd want to get too settled on this. I'm just amazed at the detail on this thing with the cloud of out of bounds right there. Let's see. So over here by our Danger Island, Sea Cow Island, Eagle Island, we've got Middle Brother, South Brother, and North Brother. Over here we've got Nelson's Island. So Nelson apparently paid a lot of money to put his name on this thing. Now it doesn't seem like he's done much with it. There's something also that's really interesting, especially with these, like I was saying, these rings of island. I don't know if I'll find it right here, but oh yeah. So there's a lot of places where the water is just so shallow, you can actually just walk in between islands. Like the water's maybe a foot deep, maybe a foot or two. Yeah, you can just walk through the water. You just walk from one island to the next. I mean, they were in a boat in that one, but I don't know if I'm going to find exactly what I'm talking about. Man, so I'm just looking around at these little islands all over here, and I mean, I don't even know what to think of this. There's just a random post office. I wonder if it's another fake business or if this is really here. I work here. On Assumption or Aldabra. The Aldabra Research Station. So it seems like most of these places are either designated as like protected lands for wildlife, or they are private islands, or they are expensive tourist locations. A Stove Island. Where are these names coming from? You know, what a lot of this has told me is that, sure, it would be cool to say that you went to Danger Island. If all you want is to go to some desert island, there are islands like this in pretty much every ocean. So if you live in the US, you should be able to find stuff like that around the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean. It's not just specific to the Indian Ocean. I mean, if all you want is to go to these deserted places, you don't need to throw all your money away, I would say. And then over here you've got the Coco Kealing Islands, including Home Island. See what it actually looks like around here. Man, I wonder if these are people who live here full time, or if this is a lot of just vacation houses. Because something I have to wonder for anybody who lives on an island full time, like especially smaller ones, is just where do you even get like most of your food or most of your imports? Like most things that we take for granted here in like a first world country are probably not super easy to get when you're this isolated. Even if you do live on Home Island. I mean, to be fair, it does have a lot of homes on it, so the name does kind of make sense. And then right above Home Island over here, you've got Direction Island. In case you don't know what direction you're going in, you can go to the Direction Island shaped like a banana. And while I was preparing this video, there were a lot of pretty interesting things I found that now I'm having a really hard time finding again. Maybe it's better if I just don't do research on these videos and I just record everything while I'm looking for it. But I think that about does it for the Indian Ocean video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying exploring the world with me here. I think this will turn into a really fun series. I think I do want to try out a live stream pretty soon. I'm thinking sometime Friday evening. I'll let you know as we get a little bit closer. I mean, these videos are pretty easy to make, so I shouldn't have a hard time uploading at least 5 or 6 of these every week, just like I used to with the Reddit videos. So, you'll be seeing a lot of me. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching.